didn't talk about, but was like, it does matter, right? Is you need to think about what leg you're going to take a penetration step with. Are you taking a step with your right or your left, all right? Think about what you constantly take that step with. All right, at this point, you've probably wrestled enough that you know which leg you'd like to have, like you'd like to take your shot with, your step with, all right? You should be going opposite hand on your grip. Mm-hmm. So what I mean is that if I take a majority of my shots to my left, like all my signals go to my left, my right hand needs to be grabbing because I'm gonna be breaking posture this way to take my shot, all right? As you develop your wrestling more and more, it's not gonna be as relevant, all right? Because you just know that you can shoot with your leg, you can take shots the either direction with an outside step, all right? But for those of you still working and learning it, it's gonna matter, all right? So if you go left leg, your right hand should be on the lapel. If you go right leg, the left hand should be the lapel. So where that matters is in this little bit of drilling, go down to your quarters. Like if my left hand is on the lapel, I should be in this right side. If my right hand is on the lapel, I should be in this side. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Just work that in as you're developing it. For some people, it's not going to matter. Like if you can shoot comfortably your side, you can make it work. All right, the second situation that's going to arise is outside of them getting posture and you have to finish the takedown is get behind them. All right, so right here. Like I was talking to John earlier on because he's trying to work the takedown and it's fine. Sometimes it's the uke, you're not sure what you're supposed to be doing. But the uke was kind of here. I was like, well, don't worry about finishing the takedown. Just get behind them at that point. Start working to break them down. Start working it, get behind them, all right? You're already behind them. Keep them working there. The situation arises, going square back up to me, they face me. Like this situation is where you got to finish, where they're actively fighting off. Turn away from me. Like this isn't fighting it off, if that makes sense. Like I'm already ready to start taking them down at that point. I'm already behind them. If you can get behind them, make that the focus of your effort. All the way down the quarters, face the wall. Yep. So the other situation arises is where like either they give up, okay, or I could circle around behind them faster than they can get up. So you hit your takedown, and you're already getting behind them, whether they're slow as far as recovering, or whether they just give up because they know that they've already been beat. All right. This gives you a chance to start taking their back. If you see this big gap right here that you feel like you can throw your leg in, you can be active and start jumping into it. To the point of like, even if they're not quick, you can start dragging and jumping the second hook in. Remember what this lapel does for you. Knee down, chest up, like all the way up so you can see. This stops rotational movement, right? You can use this as a means to have a ton of control for people. Like this is very hard for him to break. So even to the point where like if I can go to, as I'm circling around behind him, give me a leg, and we're kind of battling, they kind of spin with me. I can start working to get in the opposite side. So see how I jump sides? Like I start on one side, and if it's open, I take it. I already got that space right here. So you got the hook starting to turn in. Think about your hips. But if it's closed off a little bit, I can still work. People behind me. And start working to take his back on the other side. I got a seatbelt in right here. I start throwing my boot in. I start attacking. So you got this leg. You're on the side that you prefer to attack. You can rotate behind them. Every once in a while, they're going to be able to rotate, but not enough. So what I mean is start turning back into you. Start running them down. Let me run you down, please. We'll end up in this situation. They can rotate back to you, but not enough to recover and actually defend. Immediately you start thinking about crowding the hips and passing the guard. So think about those situations where you take it back from here because they've given up or you're just faster, even to the point of like jumping sides into attacking here, or where you kind of run them down. If you're going to run them down, in either scenario, think about your mobility, okay? Let's work on staying off our knees. So from right here, and I'm trying to finish, I don't want to be, this isn't going to work. I want to be, good, let go. This is why I think bear crawls are kind of important, right? Because you move around a lot more efficiently when you're on your feet versus on your knees.
So that's what you're showing there. It's just your hips are high, you're on your feet rather than your knees.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
And you got mobility, take them back or run them down.
Okay.
I would, obviously back's preferred, but sometimes they can rotate back into you just enough.
Mm-hmm.
Get them flat. This time we'll go just enough. I run him down. Immediately start crowding and smashing right here.
Mm-hmm.
In those scenarios if you can.
Okay.
So back takes, or finish putting them on the back. Use mobility to get yourself in those two scenarios. Questions?
It's pretty much like cutting the apron.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Anything else? 1, 2, 3.